The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange, purple and a gentle, soft pink. Pip had always been a curious creature, his heart yearning for something beyond the familiar sights and sounds of his little patch of the forest. The forest floor was soft beneath his feet, a carpet of moss and fallen leaves that muffled his steps. The trees began to thin, allowing slivers of moonlight to pierce through the canopy above. Pip's eyes widened in surprise. The fairy fluttered back towards the glowing mushrooms and gently alighted upon the largest one, its cap glowing with an intense, almost blinding light. Clutching the Whisperwind compass, Pip bid farewell to the glowing fairy and stepped back onto the forest path. The path led Pip alongside a babbling brook, its clear water sparkling under the moonlight. As Pip drew closer to the willows, he noticed a pair of luminous eyes watching him from the shadows of the branches. Leaving the wise old owl to its slumber, Pip returned to the bank of the brook, his gaze fixed on the star-studded sky above. The crystal boat glided silently along the river, its smooth surface cool beneath Pip's paws. The river began to narrow, the banks closing in on either side. The starlight that had previously illuminated the water's surface grew dimmer as a thick mist rolled in, shrouding the surroundings in an ethereal haze. Pip shivered, a sudden chill running down his spine. The air felt heavy, laden with moisture and an unfamiliar energy that sent prickles across his skin. Even the Whisperwind compass seemed to dim its glow, its light struggling to penetrate the dense fog. The river carried the crystal boat deeper into the mist, the surrounding landscape disappearing from view. Pip could no longer see the banks, the stars, or even his own paws resting on the smooth crystal surface. He felt a twinge of unease, a prickle of fear that he hadn't experienced since the beginning of his journey. He gripped the Whisperwind compass tighter, drawing comfort from its warmth despite its fading light. The river's melody, once enchanting, now seemed distorted, the notes stretched and warped by the dense air. Whispers slithered through the mist, no longer the soothing sounds of reeds, but something more unsettling. Pip strained his ears, trying to decipher their meaning. But the whispers remained just beyond his understanding, adding to the growing sense of unease. The crystal boat slowed, bumping gently against something solid. Pip scrambled to his feet, his heart pounding. He strained his eyes, trying to pierce the swirling mist. As the fog thinned momentarily, he realized with a jolt that he was no longer on the river. The boat had run aground on a small rocky island, completely enveloped by the dense mist. The whispers intensified, swirling around him like phantom voices. Pip felt a surge of panic. He was alone, lost in the mist, his destination uncertain. He squeezed his eyes shut for a moment, fighting back the fear that threatened to overwhelm him. He reminded himself of the glowing fairy's belief in his courage, the wise owl's confidence in his ability to solve the riddle of the stars. He took a deep breath, focusing on the warmth of the Whisperwind compass in his paw. He realized that fear, like the mist, was an illusion, obscuring his path and clouding his judgment. He had faced challenges before, and he had overcome them with a brave heart and a clear mind. He would not let fear defeat him now, not when he was so close to his goal. Opening his eyes, Pip decided to explore the misty island, determined to find a way forward. He knew that the crystal cave awaited him, and he wouldn't let a little mist deter him from his destiny. The Whisperwind compass pulsed warmly in Pip's paw, its firefly needle pointing directly at the magnificent tree. As he drew closer, he noticed a figure nestled amongst its crystalline roots. It was larger than Pip, its form obscured by the swirling mist and the play of light reflecting off the crystal leaves. Pip hesitated, unsure whether to approach or flee. The figure shifted, and Pip's breath caught in his throat. It was a creature unlike any he had ever seen before, its body a dazzling mosaic of crystals that resembled the tree itself. Its eyes, however, were warm and gentle, glowing with an inner light that seemed to penetrate the surrounding mist. As the creature unfurled its limbs, Pip realized it resembled a giant hedgehog, its spines long and delicate, each one a perfect shimmering crystal. "Greetings, little traveler," the creature spoke, its voice a melodious chime that resonated through the clearing. "I am the Crystal Guardian, and this is the heart of the island." Pip, emboldened by the Guardian's gentle tone, took a hesitant step forward. "The heart of the island?" he repeated, his voice barely a whisper. "But where is the Crystal Cave?" The Crystal Guardian smiled, its crystal spines tinkling softly. "You are standing within it, little one," it replied, its voice filled with amusement. Pip's eyes widened in disbelief. He looked around at the shimmering tree, the crystalline leaves, the swirling mist. "The Crystal Cave is not a place, but a feeling," it explained. "Magic exists within all things, in the whisper of the wind, the glow of a firefly, the courage within your heart." Pip looked down at the Whisperwind compass, its light now steady and bright. He realized the truth in the Guardian's words. The Crystal Guardian lowered its head towards Pip, offering him one of its shimmering spines. "Take this gift, a reminder that the light within you is stronger than any darkness." Pip looked up at the Crystal Guardian, his heart overflowing with gratitude. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice filled with emotion. "I will never forget this night or the lessons I have learned." The Crystal Guardian smiled, its eyes twinkling with warmth and understanding. "Go now, little one," it said, "and let your light shine brightly." As Pip turned to leave, the Crystal Guardian gently touched his back with its nose. In that moment, the mist surrounding the island began to dissipate, parting like curtains to reveal a clear path back to the crystal boat and the flowing river. The Whisperwind compass pulsed one last time, its light merging with the soft glow emanating from the crystal spine in Pip's paw. Pip climbed back into the boat, his heart brimming with wonder. He realized now that the journey back home is often just as magical as the adventure itself. The crystal boat, as if guided by his newfound understanding, turned effortlessly downstream, carrying him swiftly and surely towards the familiar embrace of the forest and the warmth of his leafy den. As he drifted along the moonlit river, the crystal spine clutched tightly in his paw. Pip knew that he would carry the magic of the Crystal Cave within him always, a reminder that the greatest adventures are often found not in distant lands, but within the depths of our own hearts. The river sparkled under the light of the rising sun. The water, reflecting the golden hues of dawn, danced and shimmered, carrying Pip homeward. The crystal boat glided effortlessly downstream, reflecting Pip's wide, awestruck eyes. Familiar sights of the forest greeted him like old friends. The willow trees swayed gracefully in the morning breeze. Pip leaned back against the cool crystal, feeling its comforting warmth. He closed his eyes, the gentle rocking of the boat lulling him into quiet contentment. As the sun climbed higher, painting the forest in light and shadow, Pip felt a sense of peace settle over him. He now understood the magic of the world. True bravery lay in facing the unknown and believing in his own heart. The crystal boat gently nudged the riverbank near his home under the old oak tree. Pip stepped out, feeling solid ground once again. He looked around at the familiar surroundings with new eyes. The forest, bathed in the warm light of the rising sun, shimmered with hidden magic. He touched the crystal spine one last time, its surface cool against his paw. A spark of light detached from the crystal and landed on Pip's nose. He giggled as it transformed into a glowing fairy, shimmering softly. "The magic of the crystal cave stays with you, little one," the fairy chirped. "Never stop believing in the wonder within you and all around you." The glowing fairy disappeared, leaving a trail of sparkling dust. Pip smiled, his heart overflowing. He knew the magic of the night would stay with him always. As the sun climbed higher, Pip curled up in his cozy nest, filled with the warmth of the rising sun and the memory of his magical journey.